Hello again, it's Noob, and you may have seen a multi-pick Jackknife lockpick set before, but not one like this. Let me show you. There we go. Unlike the usual reds and blacks that Multipick sell their jackknives in, they've got a new one in this, and I have to say, really nice orange. I mean, just look how I turn it in the light and it goes from that kind of like burnt orange all the way to almost like a gold. Really nice. And the other thing about this isn't just the colour they've changed, they've also changed the pick tips inside here, and there's so many extra ones in here to configure your jackknife to just how you like it as well, all included in the price. Now, this was sent to me by Multipick to review and to keep ahead of when it was available on the website. So this is really a first look. I was told about it, like, would you like to review one of these, just before they sent it, and I said absolutely yes. So this really is a first look for me of this new configuration of their Jackknife lockpick set, and it does contain a few pick profiles that I actually created for Multipick. So it's going to be very hard for me to be fully objective on this review, as you might expect, but nevertheless we will explore this. This isn't a paid video, all thoughts my own. I do not share the content of this video with Multipick before I release it, etc, etc. First up, let's look at the jackknife tool itself, and it's really nice actually. Just it feels nice. I mean, Multipick always do good quality. This is an aluminium handle, it's got a turning tool in here, and the way that it fits in with the slight curved relief of this edge is really very satisfying. You can then remove this by just gently pulling like that, and you'll see that it's like although it's one turning tool, which I wish they'd maybe stuck another one in there, it is thin and then thick, so it will be slightly more useful as a dual purpose bottom of the keyway, possibly top of the keyway turning tool, than if it was just one thickness all the way down. Now, what is nice is, and I'll show you this is it locked down, it's not overly screwed down, I'll just do it like finger tight. You'll see that these pick tips don't fly out, and there's two reasons why. One, the machining in this is obviously really nice with good tolerances, but if I undo this so that we can slide out these pick tips here, you'll see, oh look, that's nice, isn't it? It says it's a serial number and made in Germany. You'll see it's got a little magnet just down in there as well, which means that these tips will just snap in like that. They're actually held in really quite nicely, and I think, I don't know for sure, but it look like they've actually improved locking on these as well. So let me just take, I don't know, this almost gem style pick here, lock those down, put that in, you'll see what I mean. So this one is somewhere towards the middle, and that locks in really well. Look, I'm wiggling that. That's actually got a tiny amount of movement, but not an awful lot. Like, that's for a jackknife pick set, that's actually really solid. There are 10 extra tips here, 10 extra tips, which is really cool, including the we had the Abona, we also have the Droom and the Monith here, and another set of rakes which I designed, which is really nice. We have looks like a quad peak rake there, which is really good. We have a nice deep hook, which is excellent. We've got a short hook, a flat top short hook, a broken key extractor, looks like a padlock shackle knife, I think, a bypass knife, a smaller double half diamond for raking, and a small half diamond there. And changing these tips out to a configuration that you like personally to fit your everyday needs shouldn't actually be that hard at all, because this kit comes with a little hex tool here. If I can just bring that out, there we go, and that will allow you to swap out these tips with no problem. So I'm going to choose my favorite configuration and then load this tool up with those tips. So from my perspective, it's actually nice that Multipick are expanding the types and numbers of pick tips that you can get for their jackknife multi-tool, and it's good to see these bypass and decoding shims and knives and interesting things like that available in their set. It does make it much more configurable and customizable to your own tastes. And it doesn't stop there. Another thing that Multipick sent me to review and to keep are more tips to fit into this Jackknife pick set. Yeah, these are automotive jigglers. So they really seem to be wanting to expand the range of tools which are available for customizing their Jackknife pick set, which again is really cool. I don't think I mentioned it yet, but yeah, this tool does come with a little loop that you can put on here if you were to put this on a keychain or anything else really. So I guess before I run some conclusions on this set and its expansion, we should do some demos. Now, I'm not going to demo my way through every single pick tip here. We'll be here for some time, but I'll choose some of the newer ones and interesting ones, and ones I just like to show off. And yeah, we'll do a few demos and come back for some conclusions thereafter. First up, we have the Disc Detainer Disc Pack resetting or turning tool, and this is great for just turning all of the discs around to a neutral position, either all the way clockwise or all the way anti-clockwise, so that you can insert your pick tool into the lock. We have the bypass knife / decoding shim, so let's give that a go at bypassing this lock, and there we go. This does struggle to get in between the wheel and body of the lock on some locks with a slightly tighter spacing, but still possible. So these picks are in 0.5mm, which is around 19 thousandths of an inch. I've got a flat topped short hook here, which is going to be perfect for these tight little paracentric European keyways. I've got a nice Abus 6050 here, and we're just going to go through this lock and try and pick it. I feel that this 19 thousandths of an inch is perfect for this style of lock where you just don't have an awful lot of freedom of movement in there. It's going through, pin 1 here, all the way to the top and into a nice full set. Go to the back. I really like picking these Abus locks because they offer a really good picking experience with their nice tight crisp spools. You know, you really feel like you're getting great feedback from this lock as you're picking through, trying to feel where those binding pins are, where it gives you that counter rotation. You feel that you've got the control to lift those pins to their shear line. Yeah, it's just a fun experience. This is pin 2 and we are open. We'll take the aboner and give this lock a little bit of a rake. There we go. So I have my shackle pull bypass knife here, which should be able to go down an unshielded core and manipulate the pulls which are interacting with the cutouts on the shackles here. So there is a bit of a technique to it. I'm not the best expert on this, but I'm going to pop the knife down, gently pull up on the shackle and try to locate the shackle pull at the back, and we're just trying to get the one which is nearest us first, and I've retracted that out of the shackle. Go to maintain some pressure on like that, and then go down the other side here and then try to do the same on this side. Again, it can be a little bit tricky trying to get up there to manipulate the try and get the knife to interact with just that pull at the back, but we can get there. I feel it just, there we go, got it, and we've got the lock open. We have one broken key in the lock and a broken key extractor, and the aim is with this is to get under a pin, grab hold of this key and just pull out until we get the the key out of the lock far enough to grab hold of some pliers and pull. So yeah, it does work. And last, let's have a look at one of these automotive jigglers. I've got what looks like some kind of ignition switch here, looking at the back, and a jiggler, a very basic one, but surprisingly useful, this profile. And I'm going to pinch the tool at the base while gripping the rest of my hand, so that I don't put too much torque on the tool from using the handle, because you are going to have to put the tool in, put some turning force on, and then jiggle it as you're trying to, there you go, turn the lock and open it up by jiggling those wafers. So there you go, you've seen this folding pick set working in a range of locks with a range of different tool types in a range of different situations. I had a lot of fun having a go with this actually. Now, when I do conclusions, I like to talk about things I like, things I don't like so much, and things that I would change or want to see more of in the future. So, things I like. First up, I like the fact that the tools are in 0.5 millimeters thickness, or that 19 thousandths of an inch. That is a really good compromise for picks, for experienced pickers. They are thin enough to get around those tight keyways, but also just thick enough to have that durability and stiffness you need for good feedback. So I do like that. I like the fact that Multipick also are putting out different pick tips, because I think the wider the range you have, the more you're able to tailor a simple 6-tip tool like this to your individual needs and tastes. The fact that it's customizable, easily customizable at that, is to be commended. It really is just take that out one screw, slide in your tools, screw it back in, and you are good to go. And another thing I really like about this is it just looks really nice in the orange. I know, it doesn't really add any value in terms of pickability or durability or any of those kind of things, but it does just look nice, doesn't it? And it's light. I weighed this earlier and it weighs around 27 grams. It's just very, very light. Really nice, very, very light. And the packaging it comes in, I know it's a small thing, but it just is well packaged and well appointed. You know, it's one of those things which you could easily make into a nice gift, I think. It's worth mentioning that the turning tool, albeit there is only one of them, is very usable. I like the fact it has a thick and a thin end. That makes this better. And the general finish and attention to detail on this is really nice as well. Yeah, so there's a lot about this that I like. In terms of what I don't like, not many things actually, but there are a couple of things that are worth mentioning. So if you're looking for something which has, you know, your 6 favorite tips, you want all hooks, fine, have all hooks. You want a mixture of hooks and rakes, put that in. If you want some bypass tools, put those in. But it does only give you 6 profiles that fit into this. Now, for some people who just want a little EDC where that's legal to have, you don't want to be caught carrying around lockpicks where you're not supposed to, that 6 tips is more than enough to have a range of different hooks and rakes and maybe a bypass tool or 2. For some people who like everything on them at all times, then a little light, slim set like this probably isn't for you. There are other sets out there which can contain more and more and more tools, although if you're looking for comfort, then something this slim actually feels like you're using a normal lockpick. When you start to get beyond, say, a centimetre, I personally find these tools a lot harder to use when you're actually doing real picking or raking. When you're using just bypass tools, I guess it doesn't matter quite so much. So yes, in terms of things that I say I don't like, I just want to bring up that depending on what you want out of a little EDC pick set like this, it only being able to carry 6 tools at a time could be a bonus for you, but it also could be a negative. Other things that I think that all of these profiles that I've tried were very good. The only thing that I would say didn't work quite as nicely as I would have wanted is this sort of bypass knife. It's just something about the thickness of this, and I think it could be a bit longer as well. It worked on a few cheap unshielded padlocks that I had, but there's something about the dimensions of this which didn't quite hit home, and it wasn't sharp enough for me to do a one of those shutterlock bypasses, if that makes any sense. So out of all the tools here, this one is one which didn't quite perform in the way that I would have wanted. So in terms of negatives, really not many at all, and largely it's down to a matter of taste and preference. What do you want out of one of these little EDC tools? Going on to things that I would change or want to see more of, or things in the future, the first thing I want to bring up is this decoding knife. In terms of going down 4-wheel key safes and 4-wheel combination padlocks and to bypass them and decode them, this does work. this is actually a thinner tool. It's around 11 thousandths of an inch, but I would like to see one which is around 7 thousandths of an inch as well. It won't be as durable. It'll be a lot more flexible, more prone to damage and wear. However, for those four-wheeled combination padlocks where the wheel spacing between the wheel and the body are very, very, very tight, then it might be worth having for those occasions. So that's one change. In terms of other profiles, they've actually got a really good mix in here. Maybe adding some comb picks would be a nice addition. Maybe they're going to bring those out in the future. Maybe they've got plans for them already, but certainly some comb picks would be a really nice addition as well. So what does this cost? Well, I will have to put the figures up on screen. Remember, I got this set before they were listed on the website, and those prices are definitely liable to change over time, and exchange rates will change and all that kind of stuff. You know how it works. I was told that the release of this set is likely to coincide with a whole host of sales from Multipick as well. So if I'm given any discount codes or links, I'll also put them down below in the description for you to have a look at. Other than that, I'd love to know what you think of this tool in the comments down below, so do put your comments. I do read them all and reply to as many as I can. I'm especially interested in people that have one of the previous versions of this Multipick Jackknife pick set to see how it's fared up over the years for you. If you like this video, then please drop me a like. It really helps my channel out, and also consider subscribing if you want to see more content like this. Other than that, all I can say is stay safe, happy picking, and I'll see you all next time.